Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel JTech Tutors, and in this video we are going to be looking at some interesting things on Microsoft Excel. We're going to look at how to perform basic mathematical operations on Microsoft Excel. Now, remember, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button right now and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop a new video on this channel, you'll be notified on your device, okay? All right, so there's a spreadsheet already open for the sake of this video, and I'm going straight to it. This is a, a, a sales report for a particular shop, particular store that I made up. I made up this sales report for a particular shop, and contained in this sales report right now, we have the names of the customers, their sex, the products, the unit price of each of the products that were purchased by these customers, then the quantity at which they purchased it. Then we're going to use these basic operations, mathematical computations on Excel to compute for the amount, percentage of each of the purchases made by the customers in relation to the total sales. And also, we are going to do, we're going to perform. Okay, I think I have to delete this right now, delete all this, so that we're going to compute the sum and the averages. Okay, so simple mathematical operations are usually used in Microsoft Excel to perform all these operations. Okay, so right now, first thing I'm going to do right now is to take is to compute for the amount. So now, first of all, we have to understand what we are going to do first of all. Now, Abdullahi, which is the first customer here, he actually bought ketchup, and he bought 50 pieces of ketchup, which is quantity. He bought 50 pieces. And each of this ketchup, which is unit price, each of the ketchup is sold or was sold for $4. So if a piece of ketchup costs $4, 50 pieces of ketchup will cost you $4 times 50. So we have to type in the mathematical formula for multiplying 4 and 50. So all you have to do in Microsoft Excel, where you're typing formulas, you start with the equal sign. Now I type my equals, then I'll click on the cell that has 4, something like this, a box like this will show on it. Then I'll add my times, and I click on 50. Then press your enter. Automatically it computes it for you to be $200. Now the same thing is repeated in the next cell. Equals 5 times 12. Press your enter. That's 60. So right now in Excel, you don't want to keep typing the formulas in each of the bars. All you have to do, just come to this particular um this particular there's this particular green dot always at the bottom right corner of any selected cell. So once I select this cell, there's a green dot just by this place. So when you place your cursor on it, it turns to a um, cross-like cursor shape. You just double click on it on the selected cell, and when you double click on it, automatically to perform the operation. So I'm double clicking on this dot here, this green dot over here, and when I double click on it, automatically the function that was the formula that I put on this particular cell initially, which is showing D4 times E4, replicates itself for the rest of the cells to the very, very last cell here, which is for Wisconsin, who bought 23 pieces of corned beef at unit price of $2. So now, if you double click on any of these cells, you see the same formula that we typed above, which is being replicated in the rest of the cells. So as simple as that for multiplication. So now, before we compute for percentage of total sales, we have to go, we have to do some we'll do some total summations, because the percentage we're actually going to calculate for here is the percentage of each purchase or each sale made to each of these customers in relation to the total sales. So we have to know our total sales first of all, then you calculate for the percentage of each of these sales to the total sales. Now we're going to come down here and compute for the sum. Sum in Excel, you start your formula with equals as usual, then type sum. You see the reference of the formula, they double click on it, and it opens a bracket there, and you you can either type the formulas or the cell labels directly into the cell, or you have an option of just clicking or the selecting the cells to the very top of the column. Automatically to show you D3 to D32, or you can actually come here and type D3 then column, which is to D32. So you hit your enter key and it automatically shows you that. Now you want to do a summation of the rest of them. You don't have to come here to type your formula again. All you have to do, just click on that green dot in this particular cell here and drag it to the right hand side. Automatically, that formula that was imputed here would replicate itself to the rest of the cells in that particular row. So right now, this column here has quantity. So summation of quantity should not have a unit in dollars. So I'm going to remove the dollar sign here by coming to this area, this number area here, this number section in your top toolbar here, in your top bar, and you click on this drop down. And when you click on it, you're going to change the option from custom to general. So when you change it to general, it's now just the number itself, the numeric value that remains there without any monetary unit attached to it. So now we know our total sales, which is total amount sold or total amount of sales is $7,673. So we're computing the percentage of each of these sales to it. So come to the cell there, type equals this particular cell here, which is the $200 divided by 7,000. Okay, I didn't add my division sign, sorry. So I clean it up. Equals 200 divide, which is forward slash 7,000, which is the total sales here. Then you have two ways of typing your percentage. Either you type times 100, or you type 200, or which is the first cell, divided by the total amount of sales, tapping your enter, and it shows you 2.61%. Normally, it will give you, I think this is supposed to be on a number format like this earlier. Let's say I'm starting it again. Let me retype that. So equals 200 divided by divide here, always forward slash divide by total sales. If you tap on enter to show you 0.03. So either you add times 100, or after tapping your enter key without the times 100, just come to this top here and click on percentage. This top part here, there is a percentage sign here. Just click on percentage here. When you click on percentage, automatically whatever is in that particular selected cell, the percentage is calculated, as you can see. So if there's actually some decimals to it, as it's not exact approximation, you need it to be like in 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, you increase the decimals from here. This is a place you increase the decimals from this point. There's increase decimal here. So you click on increase decimal. Let me clean up the screen. Clean up the screen now. I'll change this back to numeric value that I had there earlier. So clicking on my percentage, it goes back to this. Then I'll click on this increase decimal twice, and it gives me 2 decimal place approximation of the results I have here. So now replicating this for the rest of the cells in the column, I just bring my cursor to that green dot as usual and double click on it, and watch, it's showing me some errors of division here. Now it now takes me to the concept of absolute referencing. Now what we are going to do, if you double click on this, that the very first error result we have there, you will see the formula that's in that cell is F4 divided by F35. Now this is F4. We're supposed to use to divide this same cell here, but this time around, since the formula here replicates itself, each of these particular cells here now picked immediately. This one moved to the next place. The next cell we are using to divide moved to the next. So this is an empty cell right now. So we have to change it and reference every division to just this particular cell, all you have to do, you come back to the formula and impute your, or you add your absolute reference sign, which is a dollar sign you add to in between F and 35. You add a dollar sign there. So it looks like this. Then tap in your enter. Okay. Now let me rearrange this. It's not supposed to be F35, it's supposed to be F34 because the label, the cell label here, it's indicated as F34 above. Okay. So F34 is showing here. So I have to take this back to F34. Well, okay, instead of doing that, I just have to impute it in this first place. The very first cell I imputed my formula, I take my dollar sign and add it in between F and 34. So each of these cells that will be changing here, F3, F4, F5, that are used to divide, each of them will divide just this single cell here, which is what we call absolute reference. We reference the division to just a particular cell. So tap in your enter, it shows you 2.61, then bring it down here and double click on this green dot as usual, and it takes all take you all the results computed accurately this time around. If you click on any of the cell, you see your formula. Still, the absolute reference to this particular cell is still there. Okay, so that is all about what we have for the percentage calculation. Now you can calculate for average. Now the average of all these unit prices, you simply come here and type in your equal sign. Okay, I think the font style or the font color is on white. I have to change it to black so you can see that the font should be on black here. Now I'll go back and type in your equals as usual. Type average. You're going to see average here. Mean and average is calculated. It's same, it has the same meaning for just different words. So double click on average. So we want to look for the average or the mean of all these numbers. So as usual, you do the same thing. The mean of this time around, I'm going to type it. This is D, the cell label here is D3. So I'm going down here to type D3. Either I click on it or I type it myself, D3 to, this is D32 because it's in the column of D and the row 32nd row. So D32. As you can see, automatically it selects itself once you've typed the right formula. Hit your enter and you see the average of the unit prices is $5.93. So if you want to still know the average of quantity sold, all you have to do is still click and drag on these green dots down here. So you get your average for the quantity and average for the amount. Remember, the quantity should not have a monetary unit. So I'm taking off the monetary unit and leaving it to just the numeric value of it. Okay, so that's all about it for this lesson. If you have any questions and then you have you're not clear on any explanation, or there's an area of Microsoft Excel or on any of the Office packages that you want me to touch, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, or whichever one, or any business analysis tool, business intelligence analysis tool that you're working with, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll do something on it. I'll just do a video tutorial on it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.